protests, buying vehicles and so on and so forth, but because we appreciate that there is a nexus between security or insecurity and things like illiteracy, like drug abuse, like unemployment. And we have assiduously worked on all this. And today, we probably beat our chest and say that Ogun State is one of the most peaceful, if not the most peaceful state in this country. Because we have ensured that we find ways and means to provide employment for our people through various avenues.
Major General Umar Musa said the visit has afforded him opportunity to discuss with the governor on areas to jointly work together to improve on security arrangement of the state.
In as much as the police are statutorily responsible for maintenance of law and order, ours is to restore law and order. So it is always our happiness that there are no cases of disobedience to orderliness. So it is on that premise that we have been conducting our responsibility of military assistance to civil authority through assisting the police. That is basically what we do.
He also appreciated the current administration for its support to the security agencies through various interventions to nip the issue of insecurity in the bud. Yusuf Ganiyu, Ogtv News.
President Muhammadu Buhari has thanked the Portuguese government for the deployment of weapons and training of military personnel in ensuring peace in the sub-region. President Buhari, who spoke at a state dinner in National Palace, Judah, Lisbon, commended President Marcelo Rebelo de Sousa for deploying troops for peacekeeping in the Central African Republic, monitoring political developments and providing assistance to some countries in Africa, including Equatorial Guinea, Cape Verde, and Mozambique. At the dinner attended by the President of the Portuguese National Assembly, Augusto Santos Silva, and Prime Minister Antonio Costa, President Buhari said the Nigerian government has made it a priority to tackle the issue of insecurity in Nigeria, the ECOWAS, and the Sahel. He added that this would not have been successful without a regional as well as global partners. According to him, and I quote, the Boko Haram insurgency in the northeastern part of Nigeria is being tackled through the efforts of the government as well as the multinational joint task force of member countries, end of quote. The president expressed optimism that his state visit will further strengthen the goodwill and collaboration between the two countries. He welcomed the business forum organized during the visit and the signing of many memoranda of understanding between the two countries, investment promotion agencies, and chambers of commerce, while commending his Portuguese counterpart for extending his country's engagement with Africa and African issues beyond Lusophone countries. President Buhari described the signing of the over 10 agreements and MOUs as excellent foundations for increased bilateral trade. Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari has described Thursday's attack in Shiroro local government area of Niger State as a direct assault on Nigeria which will not go unpunished. He condemned the attack by bandits on a mining site in the state in a statement on Friday by his senior special assistant on media and publicity, Garuba Shehu. Apart from the attack, which reportedly left 13 policemen and civilians killed, with several missing, including 4 Chinese nationals, the terrorists also ambushed a team of soldiers who responded to a distress call. 2 days after the incident, President Buhari paid tribute to the gallant men of the security forces who lost their lives in the process of repelling the attack. Commissioner for Budget and Planning in Ogun State, Mr. Olaolu Olabinton, has tasked government statisticians and planners on the need to embrace modern technological methods of data management in order to support government with accurate and reliable data towards the delivery of meaningful dividends of democracy for the people of the state. To this end, the Commissioner has called on statisticians and government planners to make use of the R software to capture the required data for evidence-based results. Mr. Olabinton, who noted this in Abeokuta at a 2-day training organized by the Bureau of Statistics for government statisticians and planners, maintained that the training program was a natural progression from the previous training on data gathering methods, urging the participants to take the training serious and ensure to put in use for better service delivery.
But we need to take it serious. You didn't learn data gathering properly and you don't have good data. You don't remember that with you. Yeah? So I want to believe we've done a good job of the learning of the first 2 days, and that's why we are here.
In his remarks, the consultant to the governor in the office of the Statistician General, Mr. David Allow, said the training program was to introduce the participants to modern methods of data management as against the old conventional method of treating questionnaires, saying that the training would help participants to measure the impact of government expenditure and other various policies. The lead facilitator, Dr. Olayiwola, disclosed that the rationale behind the training was to brainstorm on how to support the present administration in taking people-centric decisions, saying data management is targeted at supporting and evaluating various policies of the government with evidence-based results. Legal practitioners must conduct themselves with integrity, provide proper assistance to the courts, and promote public confidence in the legal system. These were contained in the papers delivered by speakers at this year's annual Chief Toye Koka Memorial Lecture organized by the Abeokuta branch of the Nigerian Bar Association. Elizabeth Eso, who witnessed the event held at the OK Event Center, Ibara Housing Estate, Abeokuta, reports that the Chief Judge of Ogun State, Honorable Justice Mosumola Dikpeolu, chaired the ceremony. Her reports.
Professional ethics, the way forward, and challenges of increasing involvement of young persons in criminal acts were the topics for this year's annual Chief Toye Koka Memorial Lecture, organized by the Abeokuta branch of the Nigerian Bar Association, to annually honor a renowned legal luminary and an Egba chief. To do justice to the topics were Mr. Shola Ojutalayo, SAN, and Akingbolaon Adeniro, Esquire, former Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Ogun State.
The deterioration is so abysmal and of such magnitude that one is tempted to conclude that if nothing is done to arrest that ignoble trend, our means of livelihood will be threatened and even swept into oblivion in the nearest future.
If we see a child being abused, we should react. We should not turn the other eye and walk away. We should do something about it. There are numbers that we have called the emergency numbers.
Discussing the topics as presented by the speakers were Mr. Oshunfuyi Oshunfiso, former Solicitor General, Ogun State, and Mrs. Adijat Kolawole from Olabisi Onabanjo University.
That ethical codes and regulations represent statements of intent by all those who practice in a particular profession. We are simply telling members of the public that ethical standards will be maintained and they will not be shortchanged in any form or get less than their money's worth when they engage us. Colleagues who are youth in this profession, how are we taking it? That's one. Two, what about collaborating with your students association in taking your alma mater and doing so many things, your secondary school, sorry, not the university now?
In our opening remarks, the Chief Judge of Ogun State, who is also the chairman of the occasion, Honorable Justice Mosumola Dikpeolu, called for more professionalism among up-and-coming legal practitioners. Members took turns to comment on the discussed topics and asked questions on issues bordering on court cases and appearances. Goodwill messages were delivered by dignitaries who graced the occasion, with late Chief Abeokuta eulogized for his sound presentations in courts. Late Chief Abeokuta, a Nigerian lawyer who had a productive legal career culminating in his conferment of a senior advocate of Nigeria in 1984 as the 44th senior advocate of Nigeria. In his lifetime, the Akpin of Egba and the Olu of Abeokuta. Earlier, 100 million naira fundraising was done for the construction of an ultra-modern bar center for the Abeokuta branch of the NBA. The maiden edition of the annual lecture was held in 2006. Elizabeth Esson, Ogtv News.
The Ogtv News will continue shortly. You're still watching Ogtv News. The 2022 Ojudioba Festival will hold on Monday, 11th July 2022 for the first time since the COVID-19 pandemic. It promises to be very interesting and will also be a world-class event with the theme, The Return of Ojudioba Festival. The coordinator of the festival organizing committee, Chief Fasi Yusuf, disclosed this at a World Press Conference for the event held at the palace of the Awujale of Ijebuland, Ijebode. Details are in this package.
Ojudioba Festival is the pride of the Ijebu people, a festival that has placed Ogun State on the world map. It is a symbol of religious tolerance, unity, and a gift of the Ijebu nation to the rest of the world.
The grand finale of the 2022 edition is calculated to hold on Monday, July 11, 2022. That is 2 days after the Eid al-Adha, that is Ileya.
Yet 2020 and 2021, the festival could not hold due to the restriction occasioned by the COVID-19 pandemic. Hence the reason for the theme of the year 2022.
The choice of the 2022 theme, the return of the Ojudioba Festival, is therefore apt and relevant. This year's edition, after 2 years of the festival being in the limbo, is indeed a grand return of Ojudioba. Glory be to God Almighty.
Ijebu National Museum will be launched during the festival and will be opened forthwith.
The special guest of honor for the 2022 Ojudioba Festival is an illustrious son of this country, of this blessed nation, and the governor of Lagos State, Mr. Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu. Governor Sanwo-Olu is now joining the League of President Olusegun Obasanjo, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, and other eminent Nigerians who were at one time or the other our special guests of honor.
The residents and guests for the festival were assured of security of lives and property. The Commissioner for Culture and Tourism, Dr. Tony Taiwo, says the festival is the baby of the state and the state will be fully involved.
It is pertinent to place on record that Ogun State government, through the Ministry of Culture and Tourism, has consistently been involved in the annual celebration of this festival, and this year's celebration will not be of any different.
Representatives Globacom, Mr. Ikenna Aguom, highlight various activities to look forward to all through the festivity.
Globacom's participation on a yearly basis has been born out of our commitment to identifying the culture and tradition of Ijebuland, is geared towards celebrating the unique tradition of Ijebu people and at the same time fostering the cause of tourism, which Ojudioba has promoted for more than 100 years.
Ojudioba Festival is a display of the rich cultural heritage of the Ijebu people. It is a global brand. It boosts the commerce and trade of not only Ijebuland, but the state in general.
The second Perennial Delegate Conference of the Nigeria Union of Mines Workers, Ogun State Council, has been concluded in Abeokuta, Ogun State Capital, with new executives elected and sworn in to run the affairs of the body for another 4 years. The national president of the union, Comrade Amsa Mohammed, who witnessed the elections, said it was free, fair, and devoid of rancor. Fowora Adesowo reports that the election, which was held at the NLC Secretariat, said all the outgoing executives of the union were returned unopposed.
The mood was calm and rancor-free. The atmosphere at the second quadrennial delegate conference of the Nigerian Union of Mines Workers Ogun State Council also had a watertight security arrangement. The public relations officer of the union in a pre-election parley with the pressmen also assured that the union will come out stronger after the election.
Honestly speaking, this time around, I am expecting the 100% cooperation of all the members, including the aggrieved members.
The national president, Amzat Mohammed, rated the challenges confronting the union in the state and commended the union for spreading its tentacles to every part of the state. A last-minute consultation and perfection of the conference before election proper. And when the contestants became known, the Congress endorsed all the outgoing executive for another term to consolidate on the unification and progressive programs of the Ogun State chapter of the Union. But then election was held and result counted. Comrade Abiola Fasiu Alao-led executive was returned elected by the chairman of the Electoral Committee and the Secretary General of the Union, Comrade Mustafa M.G. Yahya. The new elected State Council Chairman, Nigerian Union of Mines Workers, Comrade Fasiu Alao Abiola speaks.
It's only when we come together that we can able to achieve a very wonderful for the union. It is our future and we are not going to toy with it.
It was evident that the union has resolved to work harder, better and collectively.
Africa Centers for Disease Control and Prevention on Friday disclosed that 12